Hello, what is up, folks? There's something wrong with my camera. As you can see, we're a bit of a slanted angle here, but don't worry, I'm actually trying to solve this problem. That's the life of having to do, shows live, because at the end of the day, something unexpected, more often or not, will actually pop up. Mio Adam here once again for another session of Act Now, What's for Lunch. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. And today we got we got a couple of very interesting topic in mind that we're gonna be discussing today. And of course, we have the special guest, or should I say, our normal guest that we have normally together with us, Mr. Melvin Lam. Hey, Melvin, how are you?
Fine, fine. I see that you probably fell down somewhere just now.
I don't know. My main camera was actually supposed to be in the middle here, but somehow the secondary camera is actually turned on. I'm trying to solve this issue while we're actually doing this. But before that, I think this is a good look, because you can see like it's a bit more professional. You can see the mic down here. You can see me a bit of a wider angle. I think this is fine, don't you think?
Yeah, I thought you were going to spin some music.
Yeah, it's looked like we're in a party, but no worries, we're definitely in a party, because why? We're going to be talking about a couple of very, very interesting topic in mind, which is something that we need to highlight to all Malaysians out there, because this is an ongoing thing that has been developing not just during these COVID times, but also previously as well. Because Melvin, we are going to be talking about unemployment graduates. Now, while I'm trying to solve this issue, Melvin, maybe perhaps you can enlighten our fellow listeners, our fellow viewers. What are we talking about here, Melvin? Please.
Well, I have an old report. This is actually done in 2019. That's the latest from the Statistics Department anyway. From that year, that was the record of unemployed graduates increased by a storming number of 22.5% unemployed. And this is, bear in mind, 2019 reports from the Statistics Department. So it was jumping from 165,200 unemployed to 202,400 persons. So it's a jump of 22.5%. So this is because of the unfavorable economic environment, that consequence of overall supply of labors, and it's make out a lot of why we have such a number at that time, 2019, is because the market is highly competitive and complex job situations. And do you know, Mio, every year 21 public sector university and 38 private sector university produce around 51,000 graduates a year.
Okay, that's
graduates
every year.
Yes, every year. But 60% remain unemployed at least for 1 year. This is according to the 2018 studies by the Ministry of Education. All right. So the number of job seekers is higher than the number of vacancies actually available, right? That's one reason. And another reason is that graduates are very picky at that time, 2019, when it comes to job selections. And they are very unrealistic. They have They have this dream. When they graduate, they want to have a big paycheck and all these things. And that's a case study, a case that actually reported a fresh graduate asking for 6,500 ringgit as a starting salary. All right. So there was a survey by Job Street as well. A survey, it says that 30% of the fresh graduates are expecting to get 6,500 for the first job, and 60% of them expecting at least 3,500 to start with. 30% fresh graduate want 6,500 to start off with, and 60% want a minimum of 3,500 to start off with. So that's why this high skill salary was not available.
That's what we're trying to understand here. That's what we're trying to figure out here. There's two fronts on how we actually look at this. For one, you can see how the job market is going on. As you mentioned, there are so many more fresh graduates out there versus job vacancies that's available for each graduate. And from whatever it is that you just point out just now, we're looking at a ratio of maybe 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, one job for 3 fresh graduates. That's how it is in Malaysia. On the other hand, as what you have mentioned as well, apa yang masalah yang kita nampak juga, fresh graduates ni lepasan graduannya baru saja tamatkan pengajian mereka di IPTA ataupun IPTS or wherever it is, they continued or they finished their education, is that their demand is a bit, orang kata macam tak masuk akal. It's a bit over the top in regards of what you expect a fresh graduate's salary, first salary should be like. Saya tak pernah berkesempatan, as well as you know, maybe before your time as well, Marvin. I don't know, maybe it's the difference of timing zaman dulu dengan zaman sekarang. Tapi waktu saya mula bekerja di Malaysia dulu, walaupun saya seorang graduan luar negara, I was an overseas graduate. My starting salary, alhamdulillah, at that point in time, I got 3,500 ringgit because of the thing that I've managed to secure. And I have to say that was still higher than any fresh graduates out there as well. But again, for a local graduate nak demand 6,500 ni, that's just wrong, isn't it, Melvin? What do you think?
Yes, I think, I mean, my time is different. I mean, I'm much more senior than you. I remember those people who graduate, the students who freshly graduates work in the bank in those days, is around 900 ringgit per month. Probably tells you my age that time, you know. But now I think it's different. If we ask for, if 30% of fresh graduates demand 6,500, I don't think that's the place. I mean, I wish that Malaysia is so economics well that afford that the demands is there to pay, but it's not. And you know what, since last year it's worse because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The economics actually, Malaysia economics is actually, suffer. And the rates of employment shoot up higher. Besides every year that we have fresh graduates, we have those full-time employments has been retrenched or salary has been cut because the company, like at the moment now we have experienced knockdown. The hotel industry, the lifestyle industries, the retail industries have all suffered.
Yeah,
and that's some companies are willing to cut the line. I mean, operations, because we will not know when we will resume back to our normal lifestyle.
Yes,
and
also there's another thought that, I mean, there's another point that one of our viewers are actually pointing out, which is, I believe is so true as well, because if you look at how our time was, I mean, like, you might be in the early 90s, mine was more in the early 2000s, where, when we want to go out and find our first job, the cost of living was different. Untuk menyara kehidupan seseorang tu sangat-sangat berbeza dengan apa yang seseorang harus melalui sekarang. Contoh yang saya boleh bagi paling simple, my time, Melvin, as far as you know as well, 1 biji of curry puff only cost about 20 cents, and that was even considered expensive during your time, I believe, because I remember my seniors were telling me sepinggan nasi lemak dengan ayam goreng can cost between 70 cents to 1 ringgit. I punya time was already 1 ringgit 50 cent. Kalau sekarang ni you nak beli nasi lemak dengan ayam goreng, kalau you tak ada 4 ringgit atau 5 ringgit, macam better tak payah makan nasi lemak. So people are saying that yes, your time was simpler because everything was cheaper. But now we fresh graduates, we need more money because renting saja dah 2,000. Kereta nak bayar saja 500. Nak bayar tacenggo saja 300 bulan. Minyak lagi harga melambung 200-300 bulan. So it's quite fair what they're demanding, isn't it?
I would say if it's in parallel, the comics also booms, also prosperous. I think that were so-called the demands is there. But unfortunately, in real life, our comics has been affected. And how do the bosses or those pay such a high demand? Because when they were studying, these young students are studying, they have a dream, or During probably that time, everything was good, everything in demand. But unfortunately, when they graduate, times is not as what they have thought of. So that need a bit of adjustments. And coupled with since last year, 2020, of the pandemic issues, which is, I say, it's not only Malaysia, it's a worldwide economics has been affected. So a lot of adjustments need to be done. And that's why also probably lead us, today, this morning, I read an article in the paper. This is actually talking about fresh graduates actually nowadays, I mean, to meet, that's what you say, and to pay the bills. These are real youngsters, which I appreciate. They actually go to work like work as a register in a local petrol station. This guy, he's a graduate, and he's about a year and a half. He's a graduate from international business management, and he couldn't find a job. So what himself to in order to survive, he worked as in the petrol station as cash register responsibility, and also he deliver when off hours. He deliver parcels every day for hearing delivery services to meet ends meet. So we need to adjust. And I always tell those people who have still unemployed, please be grateful. Honestly, be grateful to your bosses because during this time they still hold on to you. So give the supports back, because if you're in a business of non-essential, you can't even open up, but the company still wants to maintain you. So I think we have some hearts, please have some gratitude to your bosses.
Yeah, dan juga I nak tanya you punya pendapat juga, Melvin, because again, it's a bit of a chicken and egg kan. I think kadang-kadang kita salahkan pihak kerajaan contohnya, ataupun we're blaming the graduates themselves being spoiled. Is there a middle ground? Is there somewhere in between yang kita sebenarnya boleh bersama-sama, bukan saja untuk nak senangkan pihak kerajaan ataupun nak senangkan pihak majikan, but also giving opportunities to the fresh graduates as well? Is there something? Is there some way that we can actually compromise in order, for us to have at least some of a win-win situation among both parties?
Well, you asked me a question which I can't honestly. My personal opinion. If those
your opinion at least, yes.
Okay. If those who have been affected, your bosses, your company have been affected by the slowdown of the economics. It's not a wish of your boss because of the lockdown. If they are not able to open up the business, if that is a payroll card, operation card, please support that, because everyone needs to survive, right? Of course, we always start with the top level, have more pay cards, and then to the bottom, at least a minimum salary to maintain. Even for that matter, if it's, as reported yesterday, the lockdown might be extended to year end. A lot of company, or a lot of bosses rather close it down right now. They don't know the directions where we go. So I think be thankful if your bosses still take care of you. You must realize every day. You must at least read what's happening in the country. And for the young graduates, I think there's still jobs around. Please do not be choosy, unless they're born under the privileged family. Otherwise, we have no choice. A Chinese Cantonese saying, if your horse carriage broke down, or your horse is not able to function, your horse, you must learn how to walk yourself. Okay. I have also read the last 2-3 months, people, personal trainers have no choice. Professional personal trainers have no choice but to work in the wholesale market. Selayang wholesale market. Honestly, those pays are not low. It was reported even if you are a foreigner, you get an average 100 ringgit a day. Yeah, but of course, probably it's longer hours, the environment is not there, but then it's still good money. So to not be too picky, choosy. And I say it's better to rely on ourselves than knocking on the government's door. Please, government give us 550 ringgit. What if we are bujang, 100 ringgit or 300 ringgit? Probably, if you're a smoker, how many packs of cigarettes can you buy?
Yeah. Okay. It's about adapting. It's about trying to survive, because like it or not, at the end of the day, because sekarang ni kita hanya ingin untuk kekal relevant. We are striving to survive. We're not striving to be the best version of ourselves that we can be sebenarnya. So kita haruslah lakukan apa yang kita boleh buat untuk kita at least cover our expenses, trying to lead our daily lives as much as possible, earning untuk kita boleh bagi sedikit kepada our parents dan juga untuk memberi kita enough makanan dan juga untuk meneruskan kehidupan kita lah. Okay, we've done talking about the first topic. We've done talking about the first topic at hand, because kenapa saya sebut pasal makan tadi, sebab topik yang kedua ni, the second topic that we want to raise, that we want to talk about with you guys, is about how delicacies can be different across different countries, across different cultures, even dekat dalam Malaysia sekalipun. Contohnya, kalau orang Melayu kita dah biasa makan rendang. Kalau the Chinese, they may eat more Chinese skewed kind of cuisine. The Indians would have their Indian cuisine and whatnot. Everyone is different. Tapi ada juga pihak-pihak yang mengatakan bahawa turtle eggs merupakan satu delikasi yang sangat sedap, yang sangat hebat, tetapi adalah salah untuk kita makan. Is wrong for us to actually harvest turtle eggs. Now, Melvin, what is this story all about? Share with us.
I don't know. Have you eaten a turtle egg before?
I personally have not, but I know people who have consumed them, has taken them as a delicacy within their meal lah, makan dengan nasi dan sebagainya. Pernah saya kenal.
Me too. I'm not tasted even a single one, but I have no urge to try, even though there's so much report that's saying that the perception is a delicacy or aphrodisiac kind of food. But then, please bear in mind, the turtles in Malaysia are protected animal or marine animal. And we have groups, the Turtle Watch Malaysia group. They actually gather a lot of information that is about, especially during the MCO period. There's a lot of people selling turtle eggs online. And there's one incident, one case report. The largest amount that that this group, Turtle Watch Malaysia, found is that they offer 600 turtle eggs from Pulau Rendang to sell online, which is worth about 3,000 ringgit. So there's a lot of social media people criticizing the seller and buyers because it's a ban. We can't. It's a protected species, and the sad thing is that the survival of turtles actually the babies or newborns, baby turtles, they have been incubating it. And there's only the chances only 1,000 babies turtles can grow up safely at sea at any time, on an annual basis. So this is actually a illegal trade, and a lot of people now even on Facebook, starting on WhatsApp and all these things.
Okay, I nak tanya your opinion pula. Kerana apa? Why did I start this conversation talking about cultures and delicacies and whatnot? Sebab, let's say, you yourself, Melvin, you have been brought up in a culture or in an environment where, for instance, let's put it as an example, chicken. You've been eating chicken all your life. Your family has been eating chicken all their lives. Tapi one day tiba-tiba it's found out that chickens are extinct or becoming extinct. Hence why dia dah dijadikan sebagai haiwan terlarang that you cannot enjoy anymore as a delicacy. Now that's a bit unfair, isn't it? Sebab daripada you kecil sampai you besar, you tahu makan ayam je. You tahu nak makan ayam saja. And then suddenly like people say that, oh okay, you cannot eat chicken anymore because it's endangered. You are sort of like telling them like we are going into your culture and you tak boleh nak makan dah. Perception orang kadang-kadang macam tu tau. What do you think? What's your opinion on that?
Well, I will stop waiting if there's a law passed that we have the chickens have been somehow been protected species. Must have been a reason behind why is it extinct. It could be not extinct, but chicken could be because could be as deadly as COVID-19 one day. You know, you eat chicken meat, you is good as taking poisons. You know.
So jadi you hanya akan berhenti makan because the fact that it could do you harm, or because the fact that you are afraid that the authorities might find, or or put you in jail because of eating chicken? I just want to understand your views on that.
For me, if I stop because the law says that it needs to be stopped for a good reason, right? It could be that meat has been contaminated somehow, and it's not good for your health, and we have to avoid it. We never know the future, you know. That I mean, of course, there will be a good reason and passed by Parliament why we can't eat chicken. If that is passed, I think I will avoid chicken. There's so many other things that you can actually try. That's legal, so-called, is safe, or you don't have to worry that you'll be caught if you're eating it. You know, so we should not say because I have been brought up in traditionally, I can eat, and why you stop me? I have to exercise my rights, so I can eat whatever I want. You can't. Just like tigers and all those things, killing a tiger in Malaysia is bad. I mean, they're under protected species, in a sense. So we have to abide. I'm so sorry that we want freedom, but sometimes freedom is over. So-called. Oh yes, overrated. I can take drugs. I say I'm freedom. I can grow marijuana in my balcony. Why stop me? You know, it's a plant. So if it's actually an offense, we should stop it. You know?
No, reason why I'm also asking you this is because, like, as how the world is so different from whichever it is that you're from. Contohnya, if you're from China, if you're from certain parts of Southeast Asia, we know for a fact that in some countries, I don't even have to mention to you guys, some countries, they do enjoy dogs or cats or rats even as a delicacy. They are used to that. That's what they're used to. That's what they're being brought up eating, and it's fine for them. And the world obviously look at this as something that is taboo, that is wrong, sangat-sangat salah. So sangat-sangat lain persepsi when you want to talk about perception, when you want to how you should like point to these guys saying that, hey, you're wrong, you can't eat dogs. But I've been eating dogs since my grandfather. So what's wrong with that?
That's a cultural difference. It's not because it's banned, right? It's not because it's under protected. Because it's a cultural difference. Like I not speaking behalf of the Vietnamese or the certain part of China, where they eat dogs, they eat cats, or the rats and all those things because they're under poverty, and this is a meat that they don't need to buy. It's because of the socio-economic reasons. They have no choice. They need meat. All right. They are not vegetarians, unfortunately. Unless it's vegetarians, I just eat grass or plant. But this is a free meat. They go around and kill because I don't have to pay. But of course, a more developed country, because I say cats, dogs, they have it's an intelligence level. These animals, they are much loved. They are domesticated. I think try to avoid those. And of course, if these dogs or cats have been stray dog cats, it might also carry certain bacteria in the meat. If it's not right, so-called well cooked, probably you will bring this bacteria in your body and it spreads. Something like what we understand COVID-19 started the way, where some part of is in city in China, in the market, they slaughter these wild animals, snakes, or whatever. So that's how I don't know whether it's true or not, but it was make believe.
It's a legend. I mean, like we until now we do not know the whole truth about it. But yeah, exactly as what you mentioned. Because at the end of the day, cultural or not, how you were brought up or not, it all depends on the situation, and it all depends on the current climate of how things are being done. And especially in Malaysia, we would just like to highlight this and point this out very clearly, is that you cannot harvest turtle eggs because turtles at the end of the day are endangered species and they need to be taken care of. They're under the they're under the protected animals, and it is our responsibility as Malaysians at least to make sure that we do not condone and we do not support and we do not promote these acts of selling and consuming turtle eggs. Carilah telur ayam, telur itik, telur apa lagi boleh makan?
The quail eggs, the small little quail eggs.
Quail eggs, telur burung puyuh. Banyak lagi telur burung yang lain boleh makan. Okay, tak payah nak cari telur penyu. Okay, that's a very interesting topic that we have for today. Very interesting stuff that we have just discussed. Thank you so much, Melvin, for coming onto the show. But before you leave, I nak test you punya German lagi because this is all about the one phrase of the day, one German phrase of the day. Kita dah tanya how are you, kita dah tanya saya khabar baik, kita dah tanya macam mana kalau kita lapar, kalau kita dahaga. Sekarang ni, Melvin, you nak pergi shopping. So bila you nak pergi shopping, you see something, contohnya you see something and then you want to ask the seller, how much does this cost? How much do you need to pay? So, ini panjang sikit, so you kena dengar. Ayat dia adalah, we feel as costed.
We feel as costed?
Okay, that was actually the best yang you pernah cakap apart from all of the things I ajar kat you. Nampak sangat you are shopping punya person. Say it again, we feel as costed.
We feel as costed.
How much does it cost? That's how you say it. Wow. Okay, I rasa you kena duduk dengan I lagi 3 minggu, you boleh cakap Jerman dengan lancar sangat.
Oh, yes. I will buy tickets and fly there.
Definitely. So, thank you so much again, Melvin, for coming on to What's for Lunch. As always, hope to see you again tomorrow. What's for lunch, Melvin? Tomorrow. I hope it's not turtle eggs.
Oh, tomorrow is something we have a special guest all the way from.
Let's talk a bit about tomorrow. What's happening tomorrow, Melvin?
We have a friend from Kulai. A young man. He's doing a lot of community job.
Okay.
And I see he has a future because he help people without any so-called expecting any returns.
That's
so I'm glad that we have him tomorrow.
Yeah. So kalau anda semua nak tahu tentang apa yang Melvin saja share with us, make sure you guys follow our page Act Now mobile community app on Facebook. Make sure you guys follow us there because all of the information is going to be there, and make sure without a doubt you guys be with us tomorrow at 12 p.m. On this particular channel. Thanks so much, Melvin, for coming on. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
All right. And that's it, folks. As mentioned from Melvin, again, make sure you guys tune in to us tomorrow. We do apologize. I personally would like to apologize on the whole setup. I need to check my camera. But yeah, I kind of like digging this vibe. This is like, half and half, like, radio studio kind of thing. So just need to get more lighting. I just got my light right here. But nevertheless, hope you guys enjoyed this particular show today, and hope you guys have a good lunch. Moving forward, have a great day ahead. Mio Adlan signing out. Take care now.